Welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to delete a record using EntityManager in Spring Boot. Alright, so far in our employee service, we've implemented all the basic methods, except one, the delete method. In today's video, we're going to see how to delete a record using EntityManager, and we'll look at multiple ways to do it. So without wasting time, let's get started. Alright, first we're going to delete a record using a JPQL delete query. This method doesn't load the entity into memory, it directly runs the delete statement on the database, so it's more efficient in some cases. Alright, let's write our JPQL query to delete a record, and I know by now, you're getting really comfortable with JPQL. If you're new, don't worry, it's super simple. JPQL looks almost like SQL, but there's one key difference. Instead of using the actual table name, we use the entity class name, and instead of column names, we use the Java field names. Okay, cool, we've written our JPQL delete query string. Now let's actually run it using EntityManager. Call create query and pass our JPQL string. Next, set the named parameter, so we safely pass in the employee ID. And step 3, execute the delete using execute update. This tells JPA to run the query on the database. Alright, it's done. We've created our JPQL delete method. But now, let's take a closer look. This method isn't marked with that transactional annotation. And even the delete employee method in our service class is not inside any transaction. Now here's the catch. Running a JPQL delete actually requires a transaction to be active. If we call this without a transaction, JPA will throw an error at runtime saying, no active transaction, or something similar. So before we add a transactional, let's run it as is and see what happens. Alright, before we start the application, wrap this delete logic inside a try-catch block. That way if JPA throws an exception, we'll catch it and print a clear message in the console. Perfect. Now if there's a transaction issue or anything else, we'll see the error clearly in the logs. Start the application now. As you can see here, my employee table currently has a record with employee ID 49. And now I'm going to try deleting this employee using our JPQL method without any transaction. Let's hit the delete API and see how JPA reacts. See? We got an error. The delete didn't work. Check the database. The employee with ID 49 is still there. It wasn't deleted. Now let's open the console logs. And there it is, transaction required exception. That's JPA telling, hey, I can't run this delete unless I'm inside a transaction. Alright, let's fix that. Just add the @transactional annotation above our method, super simple. Done. Now let's restart the application. Alright, let's hit the API now and see what happens. Nice. This time we got a success response. Now let's quickly check the database. And the employee with ID 49 is gone. Alright. Next, we're going to delete a record using the Criteria Delete API. If you've already used Criteria Query or Criteria Update, this is going to feel very familiar. The structure is almost the same. Alright. Let's now write the code to delete using Criteria Delete. Follow along with me step by step. Step 1. First, get the criteria builder from EntityManager. This helps us build the query. Step 2. Now use the builder to create a criteria delete for our employee entity. Step 3. Get the root of the entity, like we do in criteria query. Step 4. Create a predicate for the condition. We'll match the employee ID here. Step 5. Apply that predicate using .where on the criteria delete. And finally, use EntityManager.createQuery to run it and call executeUpdate to perform the delete. And done. That was pretty simple, right? Just like criteria query and criteria update, this criteria delete fits right in. Same flow, just used for deletes. Alright, now let's start the application and test this out. Okay, let's take a quick look at the database. Right here you can see, we have a record with employee ID 50. Now I'm going to call our new API that uses criteria delete, and we'll try deleting this employee. Awesome! We got a success response from the API. Now let's quickly check the database again. And yes, the employee with ID 50 is gone. The record has been deleted. So that confirms our criteria delete approach is working perfectly. Alright, next up, we're going to delete a record using the remove method of the EntityManager. This approach is a little different from JPQL or criteria delete because here, we first load the entity into memory, and then remove it. It's useful when you want to do something with the entity before deleting it, or if you rely on JPA lifecycle callbacks like at pre-remove. Alright, let's take a quick look at what this line says in the documentation for remove. It says, if the instance is not an entity or is a detached entity, it throws illegal argument exception. So that means we can't just pass any random object to EntityManager.remove, it has to be a managed entity, meaning it's attached to the current persistence context. That's why the right way is to first fetch the entity from the database using find or query, and only then call remove. Let's go ahead and implement this step by step. Alright. Since we need a managed entity for remove, we'll first use a method findEmployee to fetch it from the database. If the entity is found, that means we have a managed object in our hands. And that's the moment where we can safely call EntityManager.remove and pass this entity to it. This tells JPA to delete that exact record from the database during the transaction commit. We'll return 1 if the delete was successful, otherwise 0. Alright, it's done. Let's start the application now and test our new remove-based delete method. Check the database. You can see there's a record with employee ID 44. Now, I'm going to hit the API to delete this employee. Awesome. We got a success response from the API. Now let's check the database again. And yep, the record with employee ID 44 is gone. Also, look at the console logs carefully. See the flow? First, JPA fired a select query to fetch the entity. Then, it fired a delete query to remove the record from the database. So with remove, you're always doing a two-step operation. First fetch, then delete. Alright, quick summary before we wrap. In this video, we saw 3 different ways to delete a record using EntityManager. JPQL delete, clean and direct, best for simple delete conditions. Criteria delete, type safe and dynamic, great for building conditions programmatically. Remove method, loads the entity first, useful when you need access to the object or want to trigger JPA lifecycle events. Each method has its use case. Pick the one that fits your scenario. Thanks a lot for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts or questions. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.